Hey everyone, welcome back. I am recording in what 2D UK would call the blast furnace. This is the southern US version of it. This den is not connected to the central AC, so it is boiling back here. I'm already sweating. I had to turn off the small oscillating fan so it would not interfere with the audio, and I had to shut the door so the cat wouldn't come in. I guess I'll go ahead and get that out of the way with a cat update. Yeah, so she's alive. So there's your update. And it was my birthday in the interim, though, between the last video pickup and this one. Got some fun stuff, things I think people would like, depending on your preferences. I think by now you all know mine. So I'm going to get started. I won't go through everything I've accumulated, just as much as I can before I melt. First up is a nice mug from the IP ignoring online site Redbubble. It's from my wife. It's a rock fact from Over the Garden Wall. It's a cartoon with music in it, which normally I can't stand anything with music in it, but I did enjoy the show a lot. And typically, the kind of goofy younger brother characters also kind of irritate me, but in this one, he's pretty charming. And that's one of his sayings. It's a rock fact. So that's a fun little mug she got me. Quite a few books as well. I picked this one up. Martian Chronicles is my favorite fiction book. Well, it's just kind of series of short stories that were strung together with a framing narrative. But it's my favorite work of fiction, I should say. What I didn't know is that apparently years ago, changes had started to be made to it. One of which was to kind of modernize it, because what was the future in the 50s, or whenever he wrote it, he said it, say 50 or 100 years in the future. As that time approached, it's not that distant. So they tweaked the date some, subsequent publishers. They also took out a story and added more stories in. And it turns out that in, I think, 2012 or 13, Simon & Schuster reprinted the original. So this has a short story in it I do not have in my other copy. I didn't know so many alterations were made. A lot of them are minor, just tweaking the dates or some aren't a big deal. But subsequent short stories have been added, with one removed, at least one removed. So now that I've read the later editions, I'll get to read whichever was the one taken out, which apparently I've missed all this time. This was a gift from my folks, The Seleucid Royal Economy. This is a paperback reissue of a book on the as you can see, the finances and financial administration of the Seleucid Empire. Looking forward to that. That's probably one of my favorite successor states. And one you don't hear a lot about, Hellenistic Egypt. This one was from my wife. This covers Ptolemy, his family or dynasty. And if you don't hear a lot about the Seleucids, you hear way less about the Ptolemies. There's not a whole lot about Hellenistic Egypt. It kind of jumps from, well, Ptolemy took over, and then there was some problems for a while, and then Rome came in. Rome, then Arabs. But that'll fill in the gap nicely. However, there was one book that I kept seeing referenced, and I picked this up for a whopping $5.80 off of Amazon used. I didn't know it was so big, to be honest. Alexander to Actium. This is supposedly like a definitive treatment of the era, and I can see why. It is about 50 pages shy of 1,000. It is massive. I did not look at the page count when I ordered this, and when I got the package in, I wondered, what in the hell is that? This is a box, and yeah, this thing is huge. So that's definitely going to be later on. This covers the time period shortly after that, the Hellenistic world and the coming of Rome. Initially, I bought this book, but it turned out I only bought one volume. So I looked for the second volume, could not find it anywhere. But what I did find was that they had reissued it as one big volume, and my wife got me this one. And I donated my original copy to her free little library. This also is also a book I got in. I've read this one already, Greek Religion and Society. That covers some of the festivals, the rituals, and just various aspects. Temple design, you see here. of Greek religion, such as Greek thought. After reading Celsius and Porphyry, kind of wanted to get a better idea of Greek religion in general, because it's too easy to think of it as pagan and Christianity when they certainly didn't. It was just an element of their life, and I wanted to know more about that, which led me to read another book I found on archive.org about what the Greeks thought about the psyche, or what we think more commonly of as the soul, but it's slightly different. In any event, the last book I got was from my folks, Late Antiquity, A Guide to the Post-Classical World. Also did not know this one was so big. I should really look at the page counts when I start doing this. Typically for larger books, I prefer the Kindle format simply out of ease of use because they're not as awkward to have around. They don't take up a lot of shelf space. And I'll probably transition some of these books to the digital version and donate these. But some of them, such as this one, and I want to say Alexander to Octium, are not available digitally. So until they are, I'll just keep those around. I'll do a book video because I finished about 5 books and I'm currently reading a few now. So I'll talk about those later. 2 movies I picked up. Well, one's a movie. Also, speaking of, this would have been a much better segue had I planned this, because I picked up a new Blu-ray release of The Martian Chronicles. This was a TV series that came out years ago. You might notice it by the regular DVD cover. It had a regular DVD release early 2000s, I want to say. It looked like this, and it went out of print. And whoever KL Studios is, Kino Lober, I don't know how you pronounce that, had been putting out some really interesting movies. Because the other thing I got is what they also put out, which is The Outer Limits on Blu-ray. My friend told me about this. I had no idea it had come out, and I found it really cheap on sale. I think it was around $22 when I got it off of Amazon. And this is kind of like the Twilight Zone remaster in that they really cleaned up the episodes. They look great. They don't have the kind of interstitial stuff like in the Twilight Zone when you have Rod Serling introducing the next week's episode, or you'll have like a little commercial for whatever was going to air after it. They don't have that on here, but they do have a good deal of extras, and it looks really sharp. As a whole, though, it's not nearly as interesting as the Twilight Zone, but what are you going to do? I also picked up this son of a bitch. It's a model for the main mech and assault suit Lanos. Now, normally I am not a model person, but I saw this and it stuck with me, and I thought, that looks awesome. That looks awesome. Don't get it. Don't get it. Don't get it. Everyone wanted to sell this for over $100. There was an eBay auction, and the guy did not respond to me, but he continually lowered the price by $10 per week for, it had to have been, it was easily over a month. Finally, I bit the bullet, and yeah, this thing is massive. And when I took it out, I'm going to leave that over there. There were about 6 or 7 sheets of pieces. So you might be wondering, did you put it together? You're damn right I put it together. Here it is. I remembered as I was doing this that I had a Gundam kind of model kit, and I tossed it, and I couldn't remember why. Well, now I know. It's because these things are incredibly fragile. Despite the fact all of this moves, there's so much articulation. There's a joint here, 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 here. Each of these toes move. There's joints here. It is super, super delicate. You have to just set it somewhere and leave it be. Now, in all the pictures of it, the gun is tucked under the arm. I cannot do that. And one of the most frustrating aspects is the gun pops into the hand and the thumb keeps it in place. 90% of the time when I move this thing, the thumb pops out. The only part I screwed up on is I cut a piece a little too close. So this little shielding is missing on this side. I still have it. I put the peg on. I just have to kind of glue the piece. Also, what I didn't realize is that you have to paint this yourself. I've never painted anything. I realized that after I bought it and I saw a review on it online. And yeah, when you look at the box art, it looks awesome. And then when you see it in person without paint, he's supposed to be kind of brown, and this is just gray. So that is that's just going to be how it is, though. I am not painting this thing. They give you kind of a color guide and a color chart inside. I have zero idea how to do that. I've never painted anything. I was actually sending a thing to Dustin Christ where he paints D&D miniatures, and I had looked up if any services actually paint these things. And the one I sent to him, they charge $250 to $750 to paint miniatures. So I can't imagine what they would want with this thing. But I broke out the Mega Drive version of the game to kind of give you a profile shot. Let me see if I can do that. This thing is so delicate, you have no idea. I've broken it 3 times just before I made this video. I kept dropping it. It's one of those things where they put moving parts just to put moving parts on it. Like, there are little grates and pieces of paneling that they don't need to be separate parts. They could have easily put it as one mold, but I guess the fun of this is you're supposed to want to do it. But my God, my wife's sister was in, so that left me with a lot of time. It took me quite a bit to do this. I do enjoy it, but he will be tucked away because I'm not one to leave out models and stuff. I just really wanted to try this. I love the game and the series, and that's one of my favorite covers. There is one for the other one. What was the other one? Cybernator or Valken. You can get a model kit for it as well, and it comes brown. This is supposed to be like a grayish brown, and they just left it pure gray, and you're supposed to do it yourself. The other one looks like it comes pre-painted brown, and you're just supposed to add shading if you want. But it is a neat piece, I will say that, and there's so much articulation in it. Its eye's supposed to be red. I don't know why they just didn't give you a red piece of plastic for the eye. You're supposed to do it yourself. Like, come on, guys. This is hard enough. Everything on here snaps in. It took me forever, but yeah, once I have them set up and tucked away behind some books as my secret shame, I'll peek at them from time to time. But yeah, I thought this was a fun thing to do. I had seen a video of someone named Fu, something like that. He does Transformer reviews, and he put together an intricate Gundam model. And he said, you know, you kind of get like this really relaxed, meditative state when you do it. Now, I wasn't that relaxed, but I did find it a pretty fun way to kill a few hours. So, I mean, if you're interested, just wait on eBay till they're cheap. But yeah, pretty neat little thing here. He's starting to pop apart, so let me set him back down. I know he's going to break apart in a second. It's just, that's what's going to happen. Yep. I knew it. This just slides in, so it's not a big deal, but you cannot move that thing. Let's see. I guess lastly for this video, a friend of mine for my birthday gave me the Hellraiser soundtrack on vinyl. What was funny is he said, hey, let me know if there's a download code in there for you, because I got it when I ordered it, and I used it. So hopefully they put a piece of paper in there with another code for you. So why would they do that? You kind of bought yourself the soundtrack and gave me the album. But I appreciate it, and it's been a good listen. It's more involved than I thought. I don't remember the music in Hellraiser being... I guess because it's so visually striking, I just don't remember the music that much. But it's actually pretty good. I did pick up the Panzer Dragoon Saga Rearranged soundtrack. Now, this was on Mondo. They had a free shipping week. Here's the thing. Mondo basically imports data disc albums. Do you get free downloads with those? Because I've seen other people from the UK mention getting download codes. Mondo doesn't do that. You just get the album. You don't get a digital version. But this is the 20th anniversary arrangement. I played through the game, and the music is good, but this sounds way better. Like, if you like the soundtrack even a little bit, definitely give this a listen. It was very, very surprising. I've jammed this quite a bit. It was hard to get in and out, though. There's some little pieces of art and stuff. They don't have the awesome original artwork from the Saturn version, the Japanese one with, was his name Mobius, the French artist that drew the original cover. I was really hoping it would have a giant piece of art. That would be really big in here, but it's not. But yeah, definitely give this a listen. Highly recommended. And Square Enix has sold out of this, but I saw it on Amazon or eBay, and that is the box set of Nier. It is the soundtrack for Automata as well as Gestalt and Replicant. Okay, this is gonna be a tip for you. If you go on eBay, they'll be over $100. What you're gonna see are some for 89 and 90. Now, Square Enix had this for 89.99. I don't know their shipping. I know they charge outrageous shipping rates. I'm talking when I would order stuff from them, the shipping would be more than 4 or 5 items. I don't know what they do, like if they just pay in gold ingots or what. There's going to be some people out of Japan with this. There's one seller. He's going to have one left because I saw him do this. He sells one at a time and says one left, buy quickly. And he'll have free shipping. And I think it was like $99. So in my mind, it was $89.99 at Square. They would have charged me tax plus shipping. So I probably actually saved a few dollars. But he charges, he did have 89. I bought it at 89 and the order was canceled and it magically bumped up to 99. Ordered it, and again with free shipping, you get free 3-day shipping. Right? That's not bad. That costs a mint. Until I got a box from Amazon Japan. I thought, well, that's weird. I didn't order anything from them. And then I open the box and I see this. I've never seen this before. And I see this. And it says, enjoy your gift. All this guy is doing, because I went and checked Amazon Japan, there's actually a note that says, will ship to United States. It's 6,999 yen. I did the currency conversion at 62 US dollars. And I looked at their price chart for shipping. I think at most it would have been like $5. So he's making about $30 a box set every single time he does it. So as soon as I bought mine, I reloaded the page and it said he was out of stock. I waited about 3 minutes, reloaded, one left. Just so happened a guy about 10 minutes later bought that one, said out of stock, waited a few minutes, one left. So he sells it, goes to Amazon, purchases it on his account, sends it to you as a gift, then goes back to eBay, puts us having one left, and then repeats that process, making $30 a time. He literally does nothing but a few mouse clicks. He's the ultimate middleman. He doesn't have to handle the shipping, the packaging, anything. Amazon does it all for him. He just sits there and makes $30. I don't know how many of these he sold. He sold at least 3 after I bought mine, or around when I bought mine. So I mean, this is just jamming though. Like, if you have any inkling of interest, it's worth it. Now it's a lot to pay, but you do get I forget, it was like 4 albums are in this thing. It's it is my favorite gaming soundtrack. That and Deadly Premonition. You can buy them separately for like $40 each, or you can buy it in that set that comes with like one little piece of extra art. Not too much, nothing too crazy. It'd have been nicer if they had some more bonuses, but definitely worth listening to. After I ordered it, I kind of thought, that was a bit of money. I don't know. And then I was watching a GameSack episode where they played games they hadn't played before, and one was Nier, and I heard the music again. I thought, no, it's worth it. And as soon as I got it, I popped it in, listened to it all the way through. And yeah, I prefer the Nier Replicant - Gestalt soundtrack to the Automata, but both are excellent. So if you like albums, I would recommend the Panzer Dragoon Saga. That's about $35, and you can buy that off of Mondo, Amazon, whatever. That's a must buy, and so is the Nier one. Okay, I am baking back here, so I will give this up for today. Sorry, getting sweat off my forehead, and I will talk to everyone later.